Hello, internet viewers at W140 Nation. So today, what I want to talk to you about is windshield wipers. This is a sore spot for me when it comes to W140. Mercedes-Benz spent $1.2 billion in R&D developing this car, and really they sweated the details. Everything is perfect on this car, except in my opinion, the windshield wipers. They're the worst thing about the car. First, a little history. Mercedes-Benz, of course, came up with the mono wiper. I owned a W124 Mercedes before this one, which had the single wiper that did the and it swiped across the whole thing. It was wonderful. It worked great. It cleaned the entire window. You just needed to buy one windshield wiper, and that's it. And you could replace that. You could buy that windshield wiper in any gas station, in any store. It wasn't anything special. But for the W140, Mercedes-Benz decided to muck it all up. Now, you've got two windshield wipers on the 140. One really big one, and another one down here on the passenger side. And the big one here, it's got that gear, so it does a big swipey swipe thing. I don't know why they abandoned the mono wiper. The mono wiper worked really well. Maybe this was too wide to have the mono wiper work. And when I bought this car, it was actually pretty well taken care of. Everything was done on it really well, except what was really weird was the windshield wiper. The windshield wipers were terrible. The rubber was all falling apart. No one had serviced the windshield wipers. The brakes were done, oiled, all the changes were done, all these things were done, except for some reason not the windshield wipers. And I was like, well, that's easy. No problem. I'll go to my local auto parts store. I'll just order up, look in the book, and get two new windshield wipers. And this probably has happened to every single W140 new owner. They go to the auto parts store, they open up that big book, they find W140 or 1992 to 1999 Mercedes-Benz, and it only lists the passenger side windshield wiper. It does not list the driver's side windshield wiper. Now that did not deter me. I simply came outside, I measured the length of the windshield wiper, and I just bought that length of windshield wiper. And then, of course, to my chagrin, what did I discover is the reason that those books don't list the driver's side windshield wiper is that this is a proprietary windshield wiper. What does that mean? It means that it's Mercedes-Benz only. Nobody else makes this windshield wiper. Only Bosch, the official supplier for Mercedes-Benz, makes a windshield wiper for the W140. So it's a special Mercedes-Benz windshield wiper. Now here in Canada, when you go to the dealer to buy this windshield wiper, it costs $162 for a set of windshield wipers. $162, which is insane for a set of windshield wipers. You can order online, it's about $140 for a new set of windshield wipers. So that's what I ended up doing. But then after that, once you get nice new windshield wipers, you don't actually have to order new windshield wipers again, as long as the actual wiper part is good. Then all you need to do is order the rubber bit. You can just replace the rubber bit. It's about $40. It's totally reasonable. It comes in a package like this. There you go. It's made by Bosch. The issue then is just replacing it. So what you have to do, that's what I'm going to show you today, is how to replace that little rubber bit. So I've started it here. It's held in by these metal strips. You see that? It's got kind of like a hooky thing. There's two strips, one on either side. You'll be able to see them. One end is like a closed off end, and one end is an open end. So all you need to do is you grab a little pliers, you ply in there, and you pull it out just as I have here, and out it comes. Just be careful with it. Don't bend this because you're going to need it. If you bend it, it's $140 for a new set of windshield wipers. And then you can just pull out the old rubber. It's not held in anymore. It's held in by these kind of things. Let's see if we can focus on that. Can you focus on that? There we go. So it's held on by these kind of things. So you can just pull it out of those. There we go. Pull out the old wiper. There we go. And throw it away. And then you get your new one out of the package. And what you do, so I've thought about this now. I didn't actually look. This is one thing to note. When I ordered this package, it's $40. It came with both the passenger side and the driver's side. The driver's side being the annoying one. And guess what? It came with 2 driver's sides. So $40. Really, you got 3 windshield wipers essentially for that. So that's a good deal. I don't know if it was a mistake or if they just give you 3. Who knows? I don't know. What does it say here? It's in German. Whatever. So thank you, Bosch. So this is actually, this one package has lasted me. The other thing that's good about these wipers, they last a long time. I live in the west coast of Canada, which gets a lot of rain. It's, we live in a rainforest. So these wipers have lasted for a really long time before they start failing. But now mine has gotten really bad. Here, let me just adjust this so you can see me better. There we go. So then what you do is you find the open end. And one thing to figure out, so you see how you remove this wiper from the wiper arm is you just press this button. There's a button here. There, you saw that button. Oh, now somehow it's all gotten stuck. There we go. You press this button down and it unlocks the windshield wiper, and then you pull it off the arm that way. The arm is like this. The arm's got like a thing like that, and you pull it off once you've undone this button. And then the thing to figure out is, so you've got the closed end and you've got the open end. Where does the open end go? I didn't actually look on the original. Does it go down here, the open end, at the bottom of the swing, or does it go up here at the top? I'm gonna vote, because this, I feel it doesn't actually matter, because this, once you put those metal strips in, this thing is in really good. I'm gonna guess that this end, which is like kind of the closed end, goes up here at the top. I don't know why I'm saying that, but it kind of looks more aerodynamic on this end. I feel like that's where you want your aerodynamics. I don't know. So then what you do is, if you look on the rubber, let's see if we can focus on the rubber. There we go. So if you look, you got all these kind of, so these bits, these holdy bits are gonna go around the first 2. These 2. 1, 2. See where my finger? And see how there's a little notch? There's a little cutout in there? Well, guess what? The metal strip is gonna be in here, and the metal strip has a little cutout thing where it's gonna hook you into there. Mercedes-Benz, $1.2 billion of engineering. Oh, speaking of the windshield wipers, so they're supposed to do that driver's side windshield wiper is supposed to do the zip, 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 zip thing. Mine never did. And then at one point I started reading about it, and there's like a plastic gear in there that controls that zip, zip thing. So I took the whole thing apart. You have to take off these awful plastic covers at the base of the windshield. It's not a very good, fun job. And then take apart this whole thing, grease it. The gear in there that I had in there was gone. It was destroyed. It was in little tiny pieces. There was like old grease in there that had dried too. So I installed a new gear. It lasted about a month and a half before it broke again. So I had the full sweep and it broke again. There it is. This is my old, look how stripped it is. So then I bought another one. There's another one somewhere over here. Here we go. There's another one I bought. These gears are $50 each. So I bought a super cheap one next. This is the second one. This one was like $5. It's 3D printed. I can tell that it's been 3D printed by somebody probably in like Lithuania or one of the Eastern European countries, I suspect, or maybe China. China has a lot of parts for this car. And it didn't even make it one day because it broke immediately as I was putting it on. So then I ordered another one of the $50 ones, And actually, I think it's in there right now. Yeah, it is, for sure. And it's broken again. There's just no, I don't think it's a serviceable thing. At least I don't know. I couldn't figure out how that mechanism works in there. I haven't seen it. Maybe somebody's got a video online on how to fix it, but you know what? I couldn't do it. It works good enough without it doing the swoopy thing right into the corner. Although it was really nice when it did the swoopy thing into the corner, because it's cool, right? I mean, it's Mercedes-Benz. Does anybody out there, leave in the comments, own a W140 where this gear isn't broken and it actually works? I know they sell brass versions of this, but all the other gears in there are made of plastic. So I presume that it will just eat away the rest of the gears, the rest of the cams or whatever is in there. Okay, enough about the terrible gear thing. So what you're gonna do now is you're gonna find the open end and you are going to start weaving it in. There we go. From the second, see how like you're gonna squish those two, right? And you just weave it in. So I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna pause because that's boring. And then I'll show you the next step. Okay, so I've woven it in. Now you can see here, there's a little kind of tooth in there. You see that tooth? I'm gonna call that a tooth. I don't know if it's a tooth. But so you wanna then, I presume, push it, you wanna squish it all the way so that this last, what would you call this? How about metal thingy? This last metal thingy fits inside that tooth, and so it's not all gonna go flying. Although actually that's harder than it looks, because it really does not wanna go in there. So I wonder if there's another way to do it. Okay, I'm gonna struggle with it, figure it out. Okay, yeah, I got it into the tooth. You just pull on the whole thing, and then you just help it along, and it will pop in. So now this is stuck in there, but you're not done, because now you have to weave in the little metal guides, holders, pinchers, I don't know, whatever these things are called. And we put those, so if we look, so there's our open end, and those go in the top gap. So let me see if I can start it. Okay, so there's the top gap. They go in the top gap. And the cutout bit goes towards the inside of the wiper. And they just slide right in. Okay, sliding in, sliding in, sliding in, sliding in, sliding in. And where do they lock in at the end here? I wonder, no, because you can't do it. You can't put these in first. Unfortunately, you can't. Okay, and then, so you definitely are gonna want the closed end on the outside of the arc, because that will prevent this from, because if the open end is on the outside, your thing is going to slide right out on the first swing. You're going to lose these metal things. So you want the closed end on the same end as the button is, because the button is on the outside. Okay, so I'm going to put the other one in. Okay, so inside our top tip, so I took it, I locked it out, see, because then it's really hard to push. You want these, before you slide in the whole windshield wiper to that last one. Although no, I screwed this up. I've screwed it up. I think I screwed it up. I've screwed it up. You're gonna need a screwdriver, a little thin screwdriver I have right here, to push the metal bits down, because they have to make it to the very end. The metal tracks, they have to make it all the way to the end of this slot, because that's where that cutout is. That's where it's going to hook. So I'm going to push it from the back here. Let's see. Yeah, there it is. And then the other one. Okay, so now they're fully in. And now I've got to kind of back up and get it back into the normal thing here. How am I going to do that? Yikes. See, like Mercedes, all you had to do was not make this connection proprietary. So we could just buy a regular set of windshield wipers and not have to fiddle with all this craziness. Why can't you just do something simple? Like, these are a safety item. They should be, you should be able to get them at any gas station. That's what I'm saying, right? Because imagine you're on a road trip and your windshield wiper for whatever reason fails. Now you're gonna have to order it from Mercedes-Benz, huh? What? Okay, I've been experimenting what's the best way to do this. So here it is. So closed off end goes on the far end. That's going to be on the far end of the swing. So that's where this thing is, on the same end as that. So first you slide in the rubber, but don't lock it into place. Don't lock it into place. See that tooth? That's going to go onto this. It's going to be on the other side of this, right? That's going to be locked into place. Don't lock it in yet. First you slide in the rubber. Then from the open end, you slide in the metal bits. By having this end kind of open, you can make it so the metal bits go all the way to the end. And there's a little locking thing there. So see this metal bit, I haven't pushed it all the way, but I can do that. I've got a little flat screwdriver. I'm going to push from the back. And it should, there we go. It should slide in here. And because it's got room over there, it's got room to kind of go out, and I can work it before it's locked into place. That's why you don't lock the rubber in first. So I'm just gonna jimmy this boring. Okay, so I've got both metal shims. Let's call them shims. I've got both metal shims all the way to the end. Now I'm going to pull the rubber and I'm going to lock it in place. So that's what I'm going to do now. There's no fun way to do this. There it is. Click. So you just pull from here until it clicks, and it clicks. This tooth, where is it? This tooth that is, see, it has a gradient going there. So it'll squish itself and slide in. So there you go. So it is replaced. This rubber is replaced. This windshield wiper should work beautifully now. I'll pour some Rain-X on the windshield to smooth it out, to make it better. All that trouble just because Mercedes-Benz decided to make this a proprietary connector. I don't know why, in all their wisdom. So things to keep in mind. Slide in the rubber first, but don't lock it into place. The closed off end goes at the top. Then you slide in the two metal things. Make sure they're all the way at the end, because that way then they're locked in. But there's a little cutouts there, and there's probably a little thing, another tooth on that side. And then you pull from here to lock it finally into place. And now we just go and put it back on the car, and hopefully nothing's broken. My windshield wipers moved here. I see they settled. Now, talking about those gears, how awful those gears are. When I removed the plastic molding from the gears, I actually chipped the glass a little bit at the bottom over there. And then over time, a crack has grown and has been spreading up the windshield. So not only did trying to change the gear totally not work, it also has now cost me a new windshield. Or at least I'm going to have to claim some kind of insurance claim for it or something. So the windshield wipers, by the way, the arms, where are we here? Can we move it like this? There. There we go. The arms, you pull up and there we go. they do you pull it, it feels awful, and then they go and they lock into place. So, oh yeah, this crack is really huge. I'm definitely this is gonna start leaking. Actually, it is leaking. Yeah, there's water getting inside. So that's too bad. So there we go. And then all you gotta do here is your windshield wiper slides in there. Press this button, the button thing. Where is it? Can you see? So that's that button thing here. Press that down. It's gonna go down, and it's really evident. It's like any other windshield wipers in the history of windshield wipers, this part, except it's proprietary. There we go. And then make sure you slide your button up on top. You open, like the locking thing, you push it back. Anyways, that part, you don't need instructions for that part. And there it is. Windshield wipers are on. What a terrible thing. Thanks, Mercedes-Benz, for making that way harder than it needs to be. I don't think the 220 or the 221 S-classes after this one have proprietary windshield wipers. I'm pretty sure you can just buy regular windshield wipers. But, you know, they're no great Mercedes-Benz. So anyways, keep watching. If you like the video, comment. If you don't like the video, comment, tell me how I'm doing it wrong. I love to hear that. And I'll see you next time.